Yes, now I think it's the high time I tell you this. Money market fund won't has never made anybody rich quickly. If then you are looking for something that will make you rich or wealthy quickly, then MMF is not the thing for you. Or let me not just say MMF, let me say bills, bonds, MMF, rates, index funds, stocks or shares, equities, bond fund, balance fund. Investments don't create wealth within a snap of a finger. It does not. That is not the procedure. Why? I saw somebody commenting, I'm avoiding to use the term ranting, but basically that's what the guy was doing. And I'm not judging anybody. I'm just arguing from the point of maybe they are not informed. You see, if you get into an investment, he was saying like, hey, you know what? It does not make any sense, Joseph. I get my a million Kenyan shilling. I get my a million. I throw it in an MMF. A million in Kenya, if you throw it in an MMF, will give you approximately 10,000 Kenyan shilling per month. That's what you get. Then he was like, nah, I don't think that is fair. I mean, I take a whole a million, throw it in an investment, say an MMF, then that investment is giving me a return of 10,000 each and every month. They said, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Then I was like, okay, fine. Then what do you think you can do that can give you far much better money? He said, hey, if I get this money, I throw it in, say, in a business, I will make more. And I was like, okay, fine. Then what business? It was like, then I can find out. Okay, fine. Let's say even you have that business in mind that you can go ahead and make more than this. True, you can make, because if you compare a business, are we together, and an investment, these are two different things. And you cannot compare apples with oranges. You compare apples with apples. Are we together? So this one is you working for money. You work for money. You work for money. It's good I help you guys understand this. An investment, it's money working for you. Those are two different things. What do I mean? If I take my a million, throw it in a money market fund, I do nothing, literally nothing. I don't call nobody. I don't wake up at night to receive some calls from clients. I don't follow up, nothing. I throw my a million there and clean 10 G's coming in each and every month. Okay, fine. Now the question is this. If you take this money and you don't invest it, just let it lie idle in a bank, how much do you make? Zero. And by the way, for your information, you not only make zero, but your money is actually losing value because of something called inflation. So what people don't understand is that when we put this money here, we really don't say that ultimately this is what's gonna create us wealth within a short period of time. No, it is an accumulation basket whereby you set aside that cash, you accumulate it, where it's not idle, it's also making some baby money as you pump in more cash into that investment. Then if an opportunity comes in, listen, this is what I always tell people. Let's say you embark on, say, for 3 or 5 years investment. So you're putting that money into that investment as you look for other better options that are coming in. For example, let me give a very simple example that I happen to do. Let's say you've accumulated that money in a money market fund, and then all of a sudden you realize there is an opportunity. Like there was a time I was actually buying goats. Yeah, sounds funny, but it is what it is. I mean, it's business, right? You buy some goats, you buy and resell. Okay, you make a profit. There was a time I actually bought some maize or corn, depends on how you call it, when the harvesting is there. So you show up to the farmers, you buy the corns, you resell, you make a little bit of a higher cash compared to that what you're actually making from a money market fund. You see, only a fool doesn't change his or her mind. So what happens is that these MMFs or these investments that we talk about, they are long term. I saw somebody, by the way, I do have WhatsApp groups, but I know for now you already know how you can join the WhatsApp group, so don't ask me on the comment section. And if you have not, then you can always text me and then I can inform you how to join my WhatsApp group, the VIP WhatsApp group. Now, the point is, you find somebody on the WhatsApp and they're like, you know what, I bought shares last week and I've realized that my money has actually gone down with, like, let's say they had invested like 10,000 for instance. They have invested like 10,000. Then they realized after 1 week, the money is now like 9,900 for instance. You find like 100 is not there. So they're like, oh my goodness, should I withdraw my money? I mean, it's actually going down. What should I do? And da, 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 da. So you're already pressing what you call the panic button. And you can just simply see it's merely a week. It's just a week. So this individual is really not an investor. This is what we call a speculator. And speculator is not an investor. It's someone who gets money into an investment, withdraw it, gets again, withdraw it. So they never even realize a return or a substantive return. See, if you want to reap something out of these investments that I talk about, you have to be an individual who has the patience in them, because it is the only way that you can be able to achieve something. But if you be an individual who throws in money and then you don't even expect, for example, you find somebody, another guy was telling me, hey, you know what, Joseph, when you say that the returns are actually 20 or rather 12%, 13 or 15%, I thought you mean like if I throw my money there within a day I make 10% of whatever I invest. For instance, if I throw my 100k, tomorrow morning I have my 1,500. Oh, come on. It doesn't work that way. That is not the procedure. That is not what we call the investment. That is actually very risky. So it is good to understand what you're getting yourself into. And that's why I always tell people that don't just wake up and invest in a money market fund because everyone is investing in a money market fund. Come on. First of all, understand what it is and run it against that what you need or want and find out whether it actually meets your goal. For example, if say you want to get something like say 200,000 per month from 1 million that you have in an investment or that you have for the purposes of either investing or starting a business, definitely MMF will never, ever, ever, ever do that. It cannot give you 200,000 at the end of them. Even 100,000, it can't give you. Even 50,000, it can't give you in a month. Even 40,000, it can't give you. That's a reality. Are we together? A million only. Are we together? It can't do that. So therefore it means then that is not a vehicle that you can board to take you to that destination. It will actually not take you there because the returns are not there. So you can either get into something a little bit riskier, such as business. You get your million, then you go start that business. If you believe that, hey, if you want to get yourself into farming with a million, will actually make more money compared to an MMF, and you understand that farming, you know it in and out, you know what button to press and what not to, you know the market, you know who to sell to, you know the operational cost, you know how to, you get what I'm saying. So once you understand that, then you can actually take your cash and throw it there. Number two, you find out that people complain and say, hey, money market fund is actually meant for the wealthy people. You know, it's meant for the people who have millions and billions and what have you. Then again, that's a misadvised individual because they want to wear the shoes of argument of, hey, I can only invest in such an area when I accumulate the 1 million, the 2 million. But then how do you accumulate that 1 million and 2 million for you to get into that? If not you putting that 100 today, 2,000 tomorrow, the other 1,000 the other day and whatever, then cumulatively in a certain period of time you accumulate that. So it is for either, it's for both. It's for people who have less money because it's an accumulation basket, and also it's for that people, of those people who have the good financial muscles. So it's, you see, the reason why this argument is in there or out there, it is because some people are not informed of what you're getting yourself as an investment. It's always good. Find out what works for you. And then you find somebody saying, hey, I don't think people should invest in MMF. I don't think people should do that and that. I don't think people... Not everyone will fit MMF. Not everyone will fit treasury bonds. Not everyone will be fed by what we call the endowment policies. Not everyone will actually go for, businesses. Not everyone, like, you go for that what works for you, that in regard to that what can fulfill your goal. So when you operate that way, then it means that you know exactly what you got yourself into. Number two, why I say that the MMF will never make you wealthy quickly or within a short period of time, it is because when it comes to wealth accumulation, it's never an event. Let me just put that on the board. It is never an event. Okay, people tend to think like if you take your, there are someone who actually, approached me and told me that they would like to invest, and the approach that they came with, it was like, I don't know how they got the information. They thought like, hey, if I take my money that I have there, I throw in there, and boom, within a week, within a month, within 2, 3, 4, 5, within a year, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, and what have you. Come on, you are misguided. That is not the truth. That is not the way it goes by. Okay, when I say creating wealth, it's actually a what? A process. It's a process and not a what? Not an event. It's not an event, okay? It's not an event in the sense that you can't just wake up and realize that, hey, oh my goodness, oh man, I just grew wealthy. Unless maybe you got it by a very big luck, that is when you can do that. I'm not ruling out that you can't be wealthy within a day. You can, okay? Now, the point is, if you want to create wealth, first of all, it is very intentional. It is very intentional. What does it mean? It simply means that there is a respect of what we call the respect of time, and effort. There is application of those two things. There must be time and effort. You must be perceived to be doing something. It's like the way we talk about justice. Justice must not only be done, but must be seen to be done, or something like that. So you have to be intentional. You must actually respect time. You have to give it time for it to grow. And this is what I always tell people. If you have let me say no much money, if that makes sense, no much money, guess what you do? You leverage on time. Okay, if you have more money, okay, well, more again is relative, depends on what more means to you. If you have more money, then you actually leverage on the amount. So that way you can be able to reap something out of these MMFs, out of other investments that we talk about. And again, when it comes to areas of like stocks and or equities, or however you call them, or shares, invest that money that you know it's not meant for buying the tomorrow's breakfast. Again, even that money that you invest in these areas, you don't invest that money is meant for school fees like literally next week, or that money that is meant for school fees maybe let's say the day after tomorrow, or your breakfast, or your something like that. No, you don't even do that with the rent that is due next week, or maybe let's say 2 days from today. You invest that money that you know ain't gonna disturb that cash. You're doing that because you want that money to actually give you something in a certain period of time. You can either take it as an emergency fund, you can also take it as a sinking fund, so that at least you invest with a purpose and you stop disturbing your investment that you have done in one way or the other. And that way you can be able to realize a very good reap, or you can actually reap something out of that investment. If still up to this particular point you don't feel guided on the same, that's why I always encourage you. There is always a number on the description of this particular video or any other video that you watch or from my YouTube channel, and you can grab that number, shoot me a text, or you can shoot me a call. And there is also an email there. That's an official email. You can grab that, then we can be able to talk business. Now, that is exactly how we grow each other, not just grabbing something and then you have what we call an informed optimistic. You are optimistic because you are uninformed, but the moment you are hit by the realities and the truth and understanding, you become informed pessimistic. Anyway, I'm just borrowing all that from what you call the cycles of emotion, or the cycle of emotion. One day I'm gonna come here and discuss that, of course. Anyway, this is Good Joseph, and as always, I come here to share with you anything related to investment and such. Hit me that like button, make sure that you subscribe if you've not subscribed yet, and then also make sure that you leave me a comment on the comment section. This is Good Joseph, your one and only. Here we talk about money and nothing else. So how about we see each other next time? See you the next time, God willing.